What's going on, guys? Balkan Architect here, and in today's video we're going to be covering a tool or an option in Revit that isn't talked about that much, and that is the Modify Sub-Elements option. Now, you have this option for certain elements that have sub-elements, wouldn't you guess? And then we have the ability to modify those sub-elements, and in order to change the shape or modify the shape of those elements, for example, floors in Revit. So in today's video, I thought why not take the time to explain how does this work and how can you apply it on your own projects. Now, before we start with that, I would just like to ask you to like this tutorial. It helps me out a lot with the YouTube algorithm, and also make sure to subscribe. I make useful Revit tutorials each week. I make multiple tutorials, and also I create some Revit courses. I have both beginner, intermediate, as well as advanced level courses. They're all available on my website, balkanarchitect.com. The first link in the description, just below the video. So check it out if you're interested, and also if you would like to get all of my Revit project files. I have many files, over 400 files so far. They are all available on my Patreon page. That's the second link in the description, just below the video. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get straight into Revit.
And here we are in Revit. So let's immediately go here to models, and then let's go to new. And for the template file, I'm going to choose the Balkan Architect template, the metric version. This is my custom template. And if you're interested in either the metric or the imperial version of this template, check out the link in the description. It's the third link. It takes you to my Revit templates. So you can download them and use them if you want. Okay, let's now just click OK and proceed to Revit's project. And as soon as Revit starts up, now we can start playing around with the Modify Sub-Elements tool. So first, let's discuss what this is used for. So the Modify Sub-Elements tool you can use for modifying some sort of a floor. So let's just place a simple floor here, and then also you can use it for a roof. So let's place a roof. Now for this roof, I'm just going to go with let's place it at level 1, and let's just create a simple roof there. Now let's go to the 3D view, and let's select the floor first. So for this floor, as soon as you select it, you're going to notice that here you get the Modify Sub-Elements tool, and then you get some additional shape editing tools. So you have the option to, well, modify sub-elements, add a point, add a split line, or pick supports. So let's start playing around with the Modify Sub-Elements button. Well, that's the topic of the tutorial. So once you click that, you're going to notice that this floor now becomes like this. So it has this dashed green line, and it has these kind of points towards the edges of this. And also the cursor has this little kind of icon next to it. So what this allows you to do is to select any of the elements. You can select either the lines or the points, and let's use the tab key to select the individual point. And then as soon as you select it, you get this little option to either input a number, or you get these little drag or grips where you can move this around up or down. Now as you can see, when you change it around, it's going to change this number here, and you can input here maybe 1 meter, or you can input the same value here at elevation, so 0.6 for example. Now this is going to drop down to 0.6. So you can play around with the position of that, and that is going to change the shape of this floor. So basically we're modifying the shape of the floor. We can move this one up and then this one up, and then it's going to have this weird shape. Maybe if we go to shaded or something like that, yeah, this is what that looks like. It's kind of an oddly shaped floor. So you can play around like that, and if at any point you feel like maybe you've messed it up a little bit, don't worry. At any point you can go here to reset shape, and then it's going to just drop back down to that regular shape. Now also what it allows you to do is to add points. So for example here, if I go to Modify Sub-Elements, go to Add Point, I can add a point here, and then I can go to Modify Sub-Elements, select that point, and just move it around, and it's going to look like this. Looks like a roof of some sorts. Also, you can add a split line, so you can go from here to there, and then it's going to add a line just like that. So it's going to follow that line, and then if you select it, go to Modify Sub-Elements, you can select this point and then move it up or down, depending on what you're trying to create. But as you can see, you can create some really unique shapes this way. And again, always you can go to reset shape. So by adding points and split lines, you can modify the shape and play around with it. Now, when it comes to floors, I tend not to mess around too much with them. I only mess around with them when I want to create something like ramps or something like that. So what does that mean? If I just change the boundary, make it a bit longer, and let's say I want this to be some sort of a ramp, I can easily go here to modify sub-elements, select this, move it up, and there we go. Now this is at an angle, and it can work as a ramp, which is really useful. Also, this is maybe simple, and you can get it by simply going to edit boundary and using a slope arrow, but something that's kind of difficult to create is a ramp that's in a spiral. So let's try doing that. So I'm just going to delete this, go to a floor, let's go to level 1, and then I'm going to create an arc, just perhaps like that, and then let's offset that by 3 meters. Like this, close it off, but make sure that the offset is down to 0. So I cap it off here and here as well. Hit finish, go to the 3D view. There we go. So I can take this shape, go to modify sub-elements, and then just move one side up, and we get a spiral. Now, if you move it too much up, you're going to get that little warning, but that's okay. It still works. It still works as a spiral, so you can create a little cool spiral either as a car ramp or just for people to walk on, and so on. So it's a really unique way of creating shapes like this. Also, we can select the roof, but you can see for this roof, well, we don't really have those shape editing tools. Why is that? Well, because this is a roof that has slope, but if we go into Edit Footprint, select all of these, and uncheck Define Slope, now when we hit Finish, it's a flat roof. And when this is a flat roof, we get the shape editing tools like the Modify Sub-Elements and so on. Something that you can do for roofs is you can go here to Add Point, and then you can add a point in the middle. You can go then to Modify Sub-Elements, select that, move it down, and then that is going to be your drainage point. Now here you're going to notice that on the bottom this roof has now changed both on the top and the bottom, and if you don't want that, if you just want the kind of the material to vary in its thickness, well, in that case you have the option to go here into Edit Type and then go to Structure, and then here we have the variable option, and once you check that and click OK, apply, OK, the bottom is going to stay flat, and then the top is going to have that basically it's going to be kind of thinner in the middle, so the drainage point can be here in the middle, and then you can perhaps add some pipes or something like that. So it's a really unique tool. It can be used for flat roofs or for creating unique shapes when it comes to floors. I like to use this when it comes to some sort of roads or something like that. I tend to use this tool because it's much better than just splitting the topo surface or something like that. It looks a lot more realistic, and also it gives you kind of more versatility when it comes to working on something like this. And now, just to make something a bit more fun, we're going to be putting this Modify Sub-Elements tool to the test to create a quick little fun project. So I'm just going to open up a second project for that. So here we have a couple of staircases that, as you can see, are a little bit offset, and I'm going to be showing you how to place a ramp that's going to be running in between these. Now this is the idea that I found on another YouTube channel, Design Drafting, and I thought it was an interesting idea, so I thought why not improve it a little bit and include it in this tutorial, because it does include the Modify Sub-Elements tool. So what I'm going to be doing is creating a floor now, and let's just move to level 2. So here we can see both of the stairs, and the reason I'm going with level 2 is at level 1 it looks like this, so it's a little bit difficult to see what's going on, so that's why I prefer starting off with level 2. And then we can just create a simple floor and we can do that with a rectangle, go from one side to the other, like that. Perfect. So we have a simple rectangle here on top, a simple floor. Then you want to go here to the Modify Sub-Elements tool, and then we can use a Split Line tool in order to kind of sketch out what should be going on here. So you want to go from this side to here, then hit the Escape key, back to add split line. So the downside is whenever you break the chain, you kind of have to start all over again. So if we go up to here, then we can go up to, I'm just using the tab key to kind of maybe center it a little bit. There we go. Then again, split line from here to the center up to here. Hit the escape key, add split line, and then repeat. So we want to go here from the center. Let's see, no, we want to go from here, from this edge, to the center here, and then to this side. So basically, as you can see, we're creating some sort of a ramp that's going to go from here, to this landing, to this landing, to this landing, and then up, all the way up. So let's go back here, add split line from here to somewhere here around the center of this landing, and then all the way up here. And then let's add another one that goes all the way up here, hit the escape key a couple of times, and there we go. This is what we want to have. Now, of course, when we go to the 3D view, it still looks like this. And of course, now we have to go into Modify Sub-Elements and adjust this. So I know this part and this part, they're supposed to be down, and I know that's 5 meters below this. So I can just type in -5, and it's going to go down there. Next, I know that this part is at a different height. I think it's -3.4. Let's try that. Yeah, that looks fairly accurate, so we can just apply that on this point as well. -3.4. Perfect. Next, for this one, I'm just going to hold the Control key to select both of these lines. So this line segment and this line segment. And there, I'm going to type in -2.4. Let's see. Nope, it should be below that. -2. Let's try 2.8. No, it's even below that. -3. -3.2. Yeah, that fits. Okay, perfect. Next, let's try these two. So these might be 2.8. Oops, -2.8. Nope, they should be higher. -1.8. Yeah, I kind of forgot these numbers, so I think this should be 79. Perfect. Okay, and then for these, now of course, if you don't know the numbers, as I do in this case, you can just select this and then select and just kind of drag it down until it kind of snaps there. Same thing with this one. So I'm just using numbers because it's a little bit quicker and easier to set up, but it can work just as well without that. And there we go. So now if we take a look at this, it works really perfect. So we have those ramps, and in between we have these kind of angled strips. Now, of course, we can add this part over here. You can always go back to Edit Boundary, and let me show you what happens in that case. It is going to mess it up a little bit, but we will be able to fix it. So let's go into level 2 and just use the simple line tool to go from here to there, and then from here to there. Hit the escape key a couple of times, and then use the trim and extend to corner like that. And here like this. Hit finish. And now if we go back to 3D, it's going to mess it up like this. So here, because we've added this here, it moved it up. It did the same thing here, but it's not that big of a problem as it is here. So we just need to go back to Modify Sub-Elements, select this part there, hold the Control key, select this part here, and just type in -5. But again, it's going to mess up this first ramp. So we have to go back to Edit Split Line. Oops, let's try that. Yeah, and we want to go from here to here, hit the escape key, and then add another split line from here to there. Oops, I think I've messed this up, so let's go back. Yeah, let's select this. Yeah, so split line from here to there, and then up to here. and then another one from here to here. There we go. So now that one is fixed, and also here we want to fix this one as well, so add split line from here to there, up to here, and then another one from here to here. And that did the job. Okay, so here we must have some inconsistencies, so let's see. I guess it's the heights are a little bit different, so we can go to modify sub-elements. Let's see. So yeah, this split line wasn't necessary, so can we get rid of that one? Yeah, perfect. And then we can add a split line from this point up to that point. Yeah, now as you can see it looks perfect. And one more thing that I would do here is just go to the modify tool and go to the paint tool, and then I can apply the plant material here and here and here and here, so it looks kind of a it has grass in between these ramps, and I think it looks really good. Also perhaps change the railing from this ugly railing to the pipe railing. I think this looks way nicer. So there we go. That's how you can use the modify sub-elements in a more advanced application in order to create something unique, such as this thing that we have over here. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this quick little tutorial. I hope you have enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Make sure to check out all of my courses on the balkanarchitect.com website. That's going to be the first link in the description, and also check out my Patreon if you want to download any of my project files, like this file that we have over here, as well as any of my other Revit project files. I have many files there. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching once again, and I'll see you in another tutorial in a few days. Bye.